My name is Will Collins. I am writer, director and animator of B.O.B, and I probably started this project about a month or two ago. I had to, when it came to animation, I had to create it all myself, and I knew that it'd be on a tight schedule because I had to animate it so that it still looked professional, and the way that I produced it and created it, it would have to be, it'd have to be like a studio was just like, make this film, we'll give you a budget, but with no budget. So I had to kind of bring together all these kind of elements. So for months, because I prepped for this probably months prior, so I just hoarded loads of materials, anything that I could gather, just so that I could make all the props that I needed for this film. And then I also had to create this kind of makeshift camera rig out of an old cupboard, and that's what I used. And I think overall, I'm pretty proud of the film. There are some things, because of time restrictions, that happens when you're making films, that you have to kind of shortcut things, and so a lot of loop footage had to be used, and some of that's noticeable. And I think we had to change the ending a couple times, and I think the tone of the actual film really shifted probably in the last week of shooting, where I decided where maybe I should go for a more comedic approach, so that all the flaws that are in the film can be taken as a kind of light-hearted kind of add-on, like an accessory to the film, instead of being a drawback and being something that'd be like, that's not right, and instead being played off as comedy.
It was but a normal day. Bob had caught a fish. Suddenly, there was a cube from the sky.
The ghostly figure floated towards Bob. This ghostly being begins to explain this very complex backstory with some dark force taking over the world, and they have to be returned to some special place where they can then restore the world to its rightful state. Peace be restored.
When it came to the shooting, it didn't take that long, which was nice. Probably only took maybe hour and a half total. And the script was actually really well written. I didn't have to really improvise that much. And I didn't really have to change any of the lines, because I don't know, it was just written really well. Yeah. And when it came to my input in the overall creative process, I think I had a good voice in it. The director kind of we worked together. It was very much a partnership on, how my voice sounded, what tone was used in certain scenes. So yeah, it was very balanced.
So if you wanna do that again, but then have it be like this very, very complex,
Right.
like as if
Yes.
like sarcastic kind
Yes.
of.
Well, the main kind of idea was that it's this almost verging on sarcastic narration, and I drew a lot of inspiration from a game series called The Stanley Parable.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427.
So I drew a lot of inspiration from that to start off on this kind of monotone level. But as the story progresses, the narrator progresses, as does the character of Bob.
He has fought ninjas and a lazy animator, but a troll? It was out of the question. How was he going to beat this Wait, where's Bob going? No. What's going on? Now where's he going? Why is he running away?
It would be an understatement to say that it wasn't stressful. It took me about a couple weeks to do all the shooting that needed to be done, and like all the prep, and it got down to the wire where I was like, I just need to get this done. There were nights where I wouldn't sleep. Like, it was stressful, and I think it's really put me off animation for at least a little bit, because I don't want to be going through that, because I'd be tired, I'd come in grumpy. The process was tedious. I'd get really lonely, and it'd be quite depressing, because I'd spend a whole day in like a dark room, because the lighting had to be the same. Nothing could be changed, nobody could walk in, because then I'd get distracted. So it was like, I was just all by myself, and it was a very lonely experience. If I was to do it again, I'd want a team, and I'd want an actual set, and it's well lit, and it's in a studio, like away from home, so that I come to work and not to just, I'll come do a bit here, because then it'll get done a lot quicker, it'll look more professional, and I can finally feel like I'm in my element instead of just at home. Because when you're at home, you just want to relax, you want to just sit down, you just want to like keep calm and de-stress. But when I was at home, that's all I was doing the exact opposite. I was stressing out. I couldn't sleep. I wasn't really able to sleep because I'd spent hours and hours and hours, like till about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, just doing this animation. So that's what I kind of had to do. And then in the end, the film that you see now is what it's from my struggles. So blood, sweat and tears, minus the blood, mostly tears. So yeah.